Hey everyone, it's Taylor with Speed Cheats, and today, happy Fat Tuesday, and we're gonna do something I haven't done before. We're gonna make a Cheaters king cake. We're just gonna use crescent rolls, and then we're going to just make a filling. I'm even doing the filling in the microwave to make it super quick because it is Tuesday and I did work. So I started with 1 tablespoon of butter right here, and then I slowly added in, I will switch the computer around, I slowly added in the sugar and the pecans, and I'm gonna show you just what it looks like. Okay, so what I did is I just took some butter and melted it, and then I added in a little bit of vanilla. I'm just gonna add a little bit more actually. And then about a dash of salt to add flavoring. And then as the butter melted, I added in some sugar. I normally do this on the stove, but I figured this is a Tuesday, so I wanted to make this quickly. So I just added in some sugar slowly. So then it's almost looking like a praline. So I added in, I'd say about a half a cup of sugar, so just as much sugar as you would add butter. And then I'm going to add in some cream cheese as this warms down. Now, how this is going to be a Cheaters praline or Cheaters king cake is we're going to use crescent rolls instead of making the dough because we don't have time for that. Now, what's great about this is you can get your kids involved by decorating at the end with sugar, with sanding sugar and a glaze. Obviously, this is very hot, but what's also nice about this is you can talk about the history of Fat Tuesday and what is the significance of a king cake. What's also fun to get your kids involved with the king cake is you can add the baby to hide and the kids can find it, so it's a really fun interactive activity to do with your kids. Okay, now I'm adding in our cream cheese. I let it out to soften a little bit, and I also should say I also added in, obviously, pecans. I added in about a cup of pecans for crunch. Now, if your kids are allergic to nuts, you can do raisins. You could do, my sister's allergic to tree nuts, so you could do, peanuts if you're allergic to tree nuts or vice versa. You could also do something else with texture, like you could just do the sauce and then right before add some crushed, granola without nuts in it, or cereal pieces. You could even do a king cake with Rice Krispies and form it into a ring. That's another fun way to do an easy one. The big thing about the king cake is doing a fun family activity with your kids. My oven just preheated, and getting them involved. And also because it is on a weekday, it's hard to get all those things done. Now, meanwhile, while our cake is done, I'm doing another traditional menu item for tonight. I'm doing gumbo. Now, I have made gumbo in the past. I did something a little different today. I did it in the crock pot. Now I'm gonna switch this around. Now normally I never do gumbo in the crock pot, never done it before, but what I decided to do was try it by making a roux first. Setting it aside, sauteing our vegetables, so we did our holy trinity of celery, onion, and green bell pepper. Sauteed it with sausage, put that in the crock pot, filled it with chicken stock, added a cup of tomato or can of tomato, and then layered in our roux. I also did brown sausage and then browned some chicken leg just to add flavor, and then some bacon. I actually cooked the bacon, added it in, and then used that bacon fat for our roux. And then I'm just letting it cook down. Now there's gonna be shrimp in this, but I wanted to add it right before we ate, about an hour before, just so it doesn't overcook. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's our gumbo, and it's been cooking for several hours. The chicken's cooked. Now all I did was just take our bell pepper, diced onion, and then our celery, diced it, added it in with some oil. I also I cooked that actually with some sliced andouille sausage. Threw that into our crock pot, filled it with water and chicken stock, 1 can of beer, and then, hope my dog doesn't start barking. And then I also added in a bag of frozen okra. And then after that, I did some bacon to add flavoring, threw the bacon, left the oil in, and then made our roux, and then layered in our roux. I also, there goes my dog, added in my chicken as well that I browned in the bacon fat. So the roux was with the bacon fat and the chicken grease. So then I'm just gonna let this cook on low, like I've been doing, with some bay leaves and some salt and pepper, and then obviously hot sauce. Letting it cook on low, and then I'm going to add in our shrimp about the last hour. Okay, so I've added in the entire cream cheese packet. So we did our cup of sugar, melted in with our butter, got our caramel sauce, add in about a cup of nuts and then a thing of cream cheese or a block of cream cheese. And then to add some sweetness, I would do about a tablespoon of honey just to really bring in the sweetness. We're gonna mix that up. And then just to add a little, now this is completely optional, but just to add a little bit of fun, we're gonna add a little bit of bourbon, just to bring it home. And that is our filling. Now we're just gonna take our crescent rolls and make a king cake. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fill our crescent rolls. Now I'm only doing one, I just have one, there's only two of us, so that's why I'm doing the smaller one. You can also look on Food Network, they have a really great trick for this, but I'm doing the simple way, which is just rolling it and making a wreath. And then we're just gonna connect them and then sprinkle some sanding sugar. Okay. And then you're just gonna keep going till you make a ring. It's not the prettiest ring, but you know what? It takes a lot less time to make and go. And then I'm just gonna take some sanding sugar in the Mardi Gras colors. And so I got some green. I don't have purple, so we're just gonna do green and yellow and pink because I must have ran out of them. But then we got our yellow, and we're just sprinkling that on top. This is what the kids can get involved in. And then we're gonna drizzle it with our Mardi Gras colors as well. And then I have the oven preheated to 350. And look, we just got our very festive wreath. It's very small, but if you have a bigger family, I would double it. And we're gonna put this in the oven and let it bake. Okay, our king cake is done. I made a glaze, and I'm just glazing over our king cake. Underneath is the parchment paper. I'll remove that when it's done. And I baked it for about 20 minutes. I like to think of it as like you're wrapping or you're rolling those cocktail weenies that you have on Super Bowl Sunday. So just like that, and we're doing our Mardi Gras colors right on top. Once we take the wrapper off, it'll have the circle like normal. And if you don't have a baby, you could also just use your kids' toys. Like you can go in and get like a superhero toy or a Hot Wheel, and that's a great language activity to have your kids look through and find something. It's supposed to bring you good luck. And then I'm gonna add, so I did purple, yellow, and green, and then we're just gonna add some green on top and let this just kind of dry out. All I did was do powdered sugar, vanilla, a little bit of lemon, and then some water. I started out with powdered sugar and just drizzle in some water, so it's just like a little bit of a glaze. And then I will show you what it looks like once we put it on our plate. I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of sanding sugar on top, just to get that shine. And then we're gonna let this kind of set, and then we're gonna put it right on our sheet. And it's really just like a pull apart king cake, but it's a nice way to do something really quick for Mardi Gras where you don't have to make a dough or let it rise. You're just rolling it with crescent rolls. All right. I will show you when it's all done, but this is Taylor with Speech Eats. You can follow me on Instagram, and have a happy Fat Tuesday. Okay, our king cake is just about done. I will show you what it looks like. I put it in for about 20 minutes, and I just like to think of it as wrapping each crescent roll around a hot dog, like when you make for Super Bowl. So I just put the filling, rolled it, and put it in a circle so it was all touching, kind of like when you do a monkey bread, which is another really great way to do a king cake. If you want to make something a little bit simpler, do a monkey bread and then just do the colors on top. That's why I did a crescent roll, just to make things a little easier for the evening. It's the perfect size for about 4 people, I would say. If you want to have a bigger one, I would double it. And just bake it at 350 for about 20 minutes till it's golden brown. And then I just did that glaze in the green, purple, and yellow, and then put the shimmering sugar on top. That is a great way to get your kids involved. Another good way to do this with your kids is, have a history lesson. A lot of kids are at home right now, so learning about Louisiana, learning about the history of Mardi Gras. What you could also do is make it really fun by watching Princess and the Frog with your kids. Another fun dessert you could do is beignets. A great place to get lots of New Orleans recipes is New Orleans mixes is World Market. Just a fun tip. And then I'm serving this with my gumbo. I showed it earlier. All I did was just put it on low at the beginning of the day. I made the roux and mixed it in with the chicken stock and all of the vegetables. I'll show it right there. And then at the very end, last hour, I added in my shrimp and letting it cook because I didn't want it to overcook, to cook in the broth. And then I'm just serving with rice. And then that is our Mardi Gras. I posted earlier around Thanksgiving a collards recipe. So if you want to serve it with collards, that's what we're doing. It's a fun, easy way to make them. And I always do it with sriracha and orange juice. So it's super spicy and sweet. So this is Taylor with Speech Eats. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. And I'm also on Instagram at speech_eats_SLP. And then I also have a Speech Eats Facebook page. So if you are interested in joining, just send me a link. All right, this is Taylor. Happy Fat Tuesday. Bye.